Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cemetery Mary. I have no clue what this game is about. I really like the art style I found on itch.io, and I'm tempted to see what it is. Let's hit start. Warning, this game contains themes and depictions of the following: stalking, kidnapping, strong language, mild drugs, alcohol, and smoking, blood, murder, suicide, flashing images, and potentially loud noises. Ah, okay. Yikes. I've never been to a funeral that I didn't enjoy. What? That is, until very recently. And I wasn't quite sure how to feel. It was a beautiful service, and one they certainly deserved. If only it had come later in their lifetime. And maybe it could have been prevented. If there wasn't a murderer in my city. That's what everyone's been saying, anyways. The Blackwood Butcher. That's what they called them, at least. It was hard not to overhear the rumors people said about them. I heard they strike at night. I heard they only target one person at a time and don't stop until they're dead. I heard it's a ghost blindly seeking revenge. I didn't believe any of that. At least, not at first. But my parents did. And because of that, they didn't like me going off to the cemetery alone, staying until it closed, walking home by myself in the dark. Even though it was only across the street, these rumors had made them afraid for my safety. Do you really believe they're real? I asked my father. I do, he answered. Are you really worried for me? My mother did not say anything, but that is to be expected. They thought I was a perfect target, but I still didn't believe in it. Still, they were worried about me. So they sent me off to live with my aunt, uncle, and cousin. They didn't live far, at least not anymore. They moved from their fancy home in gorgeous Holland City to a small little cabin in the woods. I never understood why, but I never really asked about it either. My parents felt I would be safer with them. I didn't want to leave, but every day I stayed only seemed to stress them out more. So I went, to make them feel better. For the first few weeks, everything was fine. I barely left the house, barely went to town anymore, and when I did, I was always with someone, taking all precautions to avoid becoming a victim of the butcher. But I still thought it was only a rumor. Even if the number of deaths in our community increased, I never thought that I, or someone I knew, would be a victim. Then, that thing happened. I have a cat hair on my nose. To those two. And, for the first time, I was worried. Shortly after that, my own parents disappeared. They weren't in the diner, nor could I contact them. Even the authorities couldn't figure it out. No one had seen them. It was as if they had suddenly vanished, as if they were killed off. I don't like to think about that possibility. Actually, well, there was also that other thing that's happened. Maybe I should have told the authorities about it, or anyone for that matter, but I was too afraid of what might happen if I did. Your parents are safe. Unknown number. Hello? Oh, hi. You kind of remind me of Ruby Gloom. It's like the Undertale. Right, like, whatevers. I knew I'd fall asleep if I sat down. Is it raining outside? It wasn't supposed to rain today. The light's on outside. Is Croven out there? I better go check. Hey, dude. What are you doing out here? It's raining. I can see it's raining, Mary. Where's Aunt and Uncle? Quit it, Mary. How many times do I have to tell you? They went to hell. I finished dinner. Come inside. Hey, Spaghetti. I used your favorite sauce, too. Okay, I'll be inside in a second. Just let me put this out. All the food is cold. I fell asleep. I just wanted to take a seat in the living room, but it's fine. I'm not complaining. Other than that, we didn't say much, and dinner was quiet. I cleaned up most of it, but Kroven helped a little bit. After that, he went to go sit in the living room. Once I finished cleaning the kitchen up, I joined him like usual. Normally after dinner, when Kroven and I sit together, we do something fun. We play a game on our phones together, or we get out a board game, or we play cards. Talk about our days if something exciting happened, but that's when Aunt and Uncle were still. Kroven's been in a pretty bad mood since. It's not as if I can blame him. I want to talk to him, but I don't really know if he's much in the mood to talk. What should I do? Attempt a conversation. Crow, do you want to talk about it? There's nothing to talk about. I've still got my old therapist's number, you know. Kroven? Ain't there a reason she was your old one? I know. But she was good at this kind of stuff. And I've been thinking that maybe... Shut up, Mary. Just shut up already. Can't I be bitter over it? Why are you trying so hard to rush me into therapy, huh? Thought you knew about this better than anyone. But here you are. I'm not gonna stop being upset just because you miss me being all happy smiley. Can't you just stop trying to talk to me about it? I'll get over it when I get over it. Maybe get your own life and you'll stop crying so much over mine. Yikes. Sorry. I think I ended up making Kroven more agitated trying to talk to him. Oh well. You tried! Worth a shot. After a few more moments of awkward sitting, I went upstairs and headed to my bedroom. I didn't want to make Kroven angrier than I already had. I brushed my teeth and got changed into my pajamas. I stretched out on what you could consider my bed. The room I have in the cabin is nice. It's not like my room back at my actual home. But I've stayed here so long, I've been able to decorate it a bit more to my liking. It's a pleasant room to stay in, even if it's not quite mine. Or home. Whoops. Of course, I don't normally sleep right away. I usually read a book or watch a movie on my laptop or lie awake thinking of every embarrassing thing that's happened in my life. I do that quite often, actually. But as of recent, I've picked up a different nighttime ritual. One that's nowhere near as pleasant. The text message I had received the days following my parents' disappearance. It was from a number I didn't recognize. Your parents are safe, it had said. I know I should have done something smart. I should have told somebody. But instead, I texted the number back, and they responded to me. I've noticed that other than the first message, they don't usually reach out to me. It's me who keeps texting them, hoping to find out what's happening behind all this. Are you still awake? I am awake whenever you want to talk. Are my parents still alright? Yes, I am keeping a careful eye on them. How can I be so sure you even have them? What if you're just trying to prank me? Why would I do that? Because I'm hoping it's just a prank? I'm sorry, it isn't a prank. I can promise that it's all real. How did you even get my number? Your parents gave it to me. Why would they do that? Because they care about you. You must be lying to me. My parents wouldn't do something like that. I'm sorry. You don't know your parents as well as you think you do. What does that mean? Seriously, you freak me out. I just want my parents back. Please don't drag this out. I just want them back home. You should get some rest. It's late, isn't it? I'll talk to you tomorrow. I don't like to text for too long. Until then, goodbye. Goodbye. Fishy? They suggested that I get some rest. But how do they expect me to do that? I had never felt more restless in my life. Even asleep, I knew I wouldn't rest. When I woke up the next morning, Crowman had already left for the day. But that wasn't a surprise. He'd been staying out late and leaving super early ever since the incident. I think being home bothers him. I'm not surprised. Whenever I pass the diner, I too feel like not being there. It's not the same without Mom and Dad, after all. Despite this cabin being out in the middle of the woods, it really isn't all that hard to get back to Blackwood. Outside of our cabin is a faint dirt trail. It gets a bit twisty at some parts, but isn't too confusing. It takes about 15 minutes to walk down, but maybe 10 if you're fast. At the end of the trail, there's a fence, one with a slight gap in it, and past that fence is a little community. It isn't big, a few trailers with a few people living all the way out here, far from anything that's, well, anything. But there's a road here and a bus that comes through. It runs through Blackwood. So whenever we need to leave, we take this bus. And then, after the end of a short trip, you're in Blackwood. It's the city I grew up in, and I always really loved it. There's the library, the local stores, but my most favorite place to be in Blackwood is the Blackwood Cemetery. It's got lots of trees to read under and the prettiest headstones I've ever seen. There's a mausoleum too, though I've never been inside. Private mausoleum, you know. I don't know who it belongs to. Anyways, I've always tried to leave flowers when I visit, at least every so often. And I visit a lot. I like to think it helps them, you know, not feel lonely. And then, after having spent my day in Blackwood, I come back home the same way I left. But I always make sure no one sees the way I come back home. Just in case, you know? Dots. Despite the recent events, I too leave the cabin more than ever now. Crowman is really home, and I don't like being here alone. I know I'm just being paranoid, but I don't like the thought that maybe the butcher could find me out here all alone, even if that's the whole reason I'm here in the first place. So I go out a lot now. I feel more comfortable surrounded by lots of people. Despite how things may seem, I always preferred being around lots of people anyways. That's one reason why I like to go to the cemetery so often. There's always people there, even if you can't see them. Interesting. After I got out of bed, I made myself a small breakfast and got changed into my favorite outfit. Crowman's gone, and the bus I take out into town should be arriving any minute now. Where should I go today? Go to a cafe. I decided to go to the new cafe that opened up. Planet Dollars is a popular coffee chain, but we've never had one in this town. Well, until now, that is. I've always wanted to go to one, just to try it, you know? Although, I don't actually like coffee. But still, I could at least see what they had, right? When I got to the cafe, it was already packed. I thought since it had already been around for a few weeks, some of the hype surrounding it would have died down. But I guess not, seeing how noisy and crowded it was. Still, at least it was something different from usual. As I said, I'm not particularly fond of coffee, and since I had a light breakfast anyway, I decided to treat myself with a muffin. A chocolate muffin, because sweet foods are the best. However, I found myself in a bit of a pinch when I tried to look for some place to sit down. It seemed as though everyone's seats were already taken, and I really didn't want to walk and eat at the same time. Luckily, though, I was able to find an empty seat. A girl around my age with the most spectacular eyebrows, oh my gosh, look at those, was diligently working on her laptop with an empty seat across from her. I figured she must be writing an essay for college or something. Coffee shops are popular with people in college, or so I hear. Seeing as this was the only seat left, I asked her, Excuse me, may I sit here? She didn't verbally answer me, rather she glanced over at me, rolled her eyes, and nodded to the empty chair. I tried to look apologetic as I sat. Thank you. What are you working on? Sorry, can you shut up for a second? I'm trying to concentrate. Oh, sorry. Just stay quiet. I like your eyebrows. Thanks. So you're interested in what I'm doing here? Well, yeah, I guess. You seem to be very focused after all. As focused as I can be. What's your name? Me? I'm Mary. Twyla. Nice to meet you. Anyway, I'm working on a report. A report? For school? No. Have you noticed something odd going on in town recently? Something odd? I'm not surprised if you hadn't heard about it. It's like the police are trying to dull suspicions, or just arrest potential suspects so everyone can feel safe. Oh, are you talking about the killing rumors? The Blackwood Butcher, right? Don't say it so loud. But, yes. How did you know? Oh, well, I've been hearing the rumors for a while now. And actually, my aunt and uncle died pretty recently. They were, killed. Really? That's actually pretty, how did they die? Oh, I don't know. No one really told me, but the circumstances were strange. Like, they didn't die naturally. There was definitely someone else involved. At least that's what I've been told. Interesting. You know, maybe you can help me with this report. And, some other stuff. Oh, I can? Yeah. If you're okay with that, of course. Oh, yeah, sure, I guess. I mean, having a killer around is bad, so if I can help, like, raise awareness or something, yes, I'd like to help you. Thanks. This'll really put me ahead. I have to go, actually. I'm running late for something. Here, give me your phone number. I'm not entirely sure I need your help, but I'd rather have a way to contact you just in case. Oh, yeah, of course. We have a friend! Twyla and I exchanged phone numbers. After, she packed up her laptop and was picked up by a car outside. Come to think of it, I didn't actually see her drink any coffee or order any food. I guess maybe she finished before I got there. I don't know why she chose such a noisy place to work, though. After spending my day looking in some nearby stores, I went home pretty tired. I ate leftovers for dinner and yawned more than once as I got changed into my pajamas. I plopped myself on my bed and pulled out my phone, ready to continue the nightly conversation. You're there, right? Of course I am. I don't know why I keep contacting you. I guess I'm afraid if I don't, you'll disappear or something. It's unlikely. I know you won't tell me where my parents are, but can you at least tell me why you took them? No. Why not? I don't know who could be seeing these messages. Are you worried about being traced? Possibly. I may even change phones from time to time just to be careful, but you'll know it's me. I don't know if that should be comforting or not. I really don't see how this works. How am I supposed to trust you? Aren't someone dangerous if you don't give me any info to go off of? Especially when I haven't heard from my parents. Goodbye, Mary. Sleep well. I don't like this. I felt sick that night as I tried to go to sleep. I tossed and turned so many times, and yet I was still too tired to get up and try to do something else. I don't remember when, but eventually I was able to fall asleep. I didn't sleep very well, though. I'm not going back out there. You saw how they were looking at me. I can't do it. I can't. I'm sorry. Maybe it's better if I don't anymore. That was odd. I think I'm going to leave this episode off here. I have been going for about 20 minutes, and that's a lot of talking. Anyway, I'm kind of Kind of weird, but I do want to see where this goes. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.